sisters who are in prison right now. We are calling on the Ugandan so-called thugs to let free Achileo, our brother, who was kidnapped recently, just for standing against the brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Corruption must stop in Uganda. Museveni must go. Anita Mong must resign. Buga must be charged. Every MP must sanction them. We are calling for sanctions against the corrupt officials from Uganda. And we are calling on the UK government to stop sending our money to Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to stop our tax money from going to Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to stop supporting the brutal dictator. We are calling on the UK government to stand with the Ugandans. We are calling on the UK government to put more sanctions on the corrupt officials, starting with Museveni, followed by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, without forgetting Buga and the other three commissioners. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Don't get surprised why we are here. This is a crime scene. We are standing at a crime scene. Uganda High Commission is a crime scene. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you for listening. I'm hoping the tourists who came to London, you're enjoying the weather. You're enjoying London. Unlike we Ugandans, we cannot enjoy our country, Uganda, because of the brutal dictator Museveni. That's why we are here, standing here, to highlight the brutalities in Uganda, to highlight the human rights abuses in Uganda under the 40-year rule of this brutal junta, Museveni of Uganda. 40 years is more than enough. 40 years of brutality is more than enough. We are calling on all the UK residents to stop paying your taxes, because your taxes go to Uganda, and go to Uganda in a good faith. But when it reaches Uganda, it's enriching, making the brutal dictator Museveni richer, the 13.5 million rich. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Thank you. Hey. Mama. Museveni must go. Anita Mong he must resign. The parliament, the so-called parliament of Uganda, they are all corrupt, and they need to be sent to the International Criminal Court for murdering Ugandans, because corruption is a sickness, corruption is illness, corruption is murder, because if you divert the funds for building hospitals and you buy mansions in the UK, that is murder you have committed. Do you know how many women in Uganda, on a daily basis, they die? 280 Ugandan women, they die on a daily basis because of childbirth. There is no maternity hospitals in Uganda. There is no facilities like that. 280 women die every day in Uganda because of the failed state, because there is no medical facilities in Uganda. The brutal dictator is 13.5 billion, but he has not invested in the construction of roads or service delivery or whatever. He has bought himself arms. A brutal dictator, Museveni. He travels with 120 armored cars, equivalent to 20 million US dollars. Every day he comes out of his so-called palace. He's using 20 million US dollars only on armory. The cars, his convoy is made up of even 2 toilets. You can imagine. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Everything.
Everywhere.
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 Where is democracy here? If the UK is still supporting a brutal dictator for 40 years, that cannot be democracy. Mr. Sharma, we know you're new Prime Minister and you have promised to take on this brutal dictator. A brutal dictator who has been in power for over 40 years, brutalizing Ugandans, raping women and men, sodomizing men in Uganda. Men are being castrated under this brutal regime. We are talking about Museveni, a brutal dictator, the richest dictator in Africa, 13.5 billion rich, but we don't have no working hospitals. We don't have no roads. We don't have no schools in Uganda. The brutal dictator has bought mansions in Kensington.
Mama.
He has got palaces in Kent.
Yeah, we talk to keep the door from.
We are calling on the UK government to sanction the brutal dictator of Uganda, to stop funding the brutal dictator of Uganda, to stop promoting the brutal dictator of Uganda. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. Anita Bonge must resign. The whole parliament of Uganda must be sanctioned because of corruption. People power.
Our power.
We promise the new Uganda under our President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, there will be no corruption. People stand accountable for every penny spent. A failure to do so, Muzira, we are sending you there. We are calling on Museveni, a dictator who can't fight corruption, to hand over power to us. We are ready to take them on. We are ready to fight corruption in Uganda, but not under Museveni's regime. Because Museveni is the worst corrupt brutal leader in Africa. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
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 Uganda cannot afford a £1 paracetamol under this brutal dictator. Uganda cannot afford a £1 meal under Museveni's regime. 40 years is more than enough. 40 years is more than enough. We've lived under brutality for 40 years, and we are still under the same brutal dictator. In the UK, we've changed our prime ministers. In Uganda, we're still under the same brutal dictator. But to tell you why it's still in power is because the UK is funding the brutal dictator. The UK is protecting the brutal dictator. The UK is sending arms to Uganda. The UK is conniving with the brutal dictator. Museveni is M23. We've got a rebel movement in DRC Congo. For you people who doesn't know DRC Congo, it's the most richest country in the world. But Museveni, the brutal dictator of Uganda, he has taken over DRC Congo by funding M23 rebels. The United Nations report condemns Uganda of supporting the brutal rebels in Eastern Congo. This is all UK money going down to Uganda and being misused. We are calling on the UK. Don't fight the brutal dictator. We are calling on the UK. Don't send our money to Uganda. Because our money is going to the grave. Our money is being used to torture Ugandans. Our money is being used to rape Ugandans. Our money is being used to kidnap Ugandans. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Madam, I like that red. Red stand for change. People
Yes.
power.
Our power.
Kachuluvaako kwa
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
We are Ugandans living in the UK. Why we are here today is to talk about the rampant endemic corruption. What you don't understand, Uganda is being funded by the UK and we receive over 800 million pounds every year. This money goes to corruption. We are asking the government of UK to stop funding the dictator. Your taxpayers' money goes to no good use.
How long?
All the money that's sent to Uganda goes to corruption. Counting the number of corruption scandals in Uganda can fill up 2 double-decker buses. The regime is so corrupt and rotten that you can look at the corrupt index globally and we see where we measure. We are, after Pakistan, Uganda comes next. Uganda is known for corruption after Pakistan. That's how corrupt the regime in Uganda is. Museveni, the dictator in Uganda, is worse off than Putin. We've had Museveni for 40 years.
Can I interrupt 1 second? Do you have something to say first?
Yes.
To our protest, what does it mean? Why were we here?
We are here protesting against corruption in Uganda.
Yes.
Under this regime of dictator Museveni and the Rizani Tamo and the entire parliament, we want all of them who are involved in corruption scandals to be brought to court of justice, including Museveni himself. He needs to go to the International Criminal Court because he has committed crimes against humanity. And corruption is part of that humanity we are talking about. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have anything to say?
A country like Uganda that can't afford land.
Yeah.
This is because corruption. Uganda, after Pakistan, is the most corrupt country. The dictator who has been in power is the richest man in Africa. He has $13.5 billion and we still keep funding him. This is the man who has robbed Uganda of everything. Equal democracy and he killed Uganda. We ask the government in UK, stop funding Uganda. We are here to stop tell you Uganda is so much corrupt. Next, the leader in Uganda doesn't expect people to get
Thank you very much. That is well explained.
He has not built a single hospital. But in the 40 years, he's built 4 modern Chinese prisons. This is what we have in Uganda. He's killed every single infrastructure that was in place. Please, we ask the UK government, stop funding the dictator. Stop funding the dictator. NUP, everywhere.
NUP.
NUP,
Everywhere.
Kunga, Uganda.
Kunga.
Kunga, Uganda.
Kunga.
Kunga, Uganda.
Kunga.
Thank you for listening.
Hold on.
Join stand. Rakwaniro
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Then you like. Nice.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
We are Ugandans, but we are British. And the reason why we are standing here is because of the hypocrisy of the UK government. They are supporting the brutal dictators in Africa. And for that reason, we have to run for our lives. We are calling on the UK government to stop the funding of these brutal dictators in Africa. We are calling on the UK government to stand with the Ugandans in condemning and removing the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. That's the reason why we are here, trying to highlight the human rights abuses in Uganda, the killing, the murdering, the raping, sodomizing of men and women in Uganda. That's why we are here. We are standing at a crime scene. Uganda High Commissioner is a crime scene. This is where the murder is taking place. This is where the raping is taking place. This is where the torturing of Ugandans is happening. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We are calling on the Madame Madivan, the so-called representative of Uganda to the UK, to condemn the brutalities, the torturing of Ugandans, the murdering of Ugandans, the raping of women and men in Uganda, the sodomizing of men and women in Uganda cannot go unabated. We are calling on the UK government to stop the funding of the brutal dictator. The brutal dictator has been in power for 40 years and is still in power. In the UK, we've 10 prime ministers. In Uganda, we still live under the same brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We want to take our country back.
Yes.
We don't want the brutal dictator.
Yes.
Museveni of Uganda.
Yes.
To be the last dictator in Africa.
Yes.
He's the richest brutal dictator in Africa.
Yes.
13.5 billion US dollars. But in Uganda, we don't have hospitals. Instead of hospitals, he's building prisons. In Uganda, a population of 45 million Ugandans, we have only 10 working ambulances, but we have 25,000 military patrol cars. That is the Uganda under this brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We are all professionals. We are not jobless. But today, we have to come here and expose the brutalities in Uganda. Stop Museveni, the brutal dictator. Corruption in Uganda is a norm. Corruption in Uganda is normal. But we know corruption is a crime. In Uganda, when you take 20 million US dollars, the brutal dictator will appoint you ambassador to the UK. Instead of taking you for accountability, the brutal dictator will give you a big post so that you can rob Ugandans, so that Ugandans can die as we are dying. We cannot afford a £1 paracetamol under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP. Guarda, non c'ha di lei. Solo con fatto lei. Passiamo là. Hi, darling. Ndikwata bwenti, bombi.
Kwata bbiri.
Kwata bbiri. Begende sobutakwata mu bya kuvaako.
Ati kwatira wano.
Neno togende sobutakwata kwata mu mali mabali. Recording up 20 minutes, kasasi wela 20 minutes ngozi wo mwami oyo.
Okay. Eno ekoma ku 20. Okay. Oi, kundeze. Ageza kwogera. Twig.
People power!
Our power!
Our power!
People power!
NUP!
Everywhere!
Everywhere!
NUP!
Why are we here? Why are we here?
We're fighting a dictator!
We are here to highlight the UK citizen
Yeah!
and the British and the Uganda High Commission to the UK
Yeah!
that we have a serious issue.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem we are having, first of all, we are proud citizens of the UK.
Yeah!
We are employed.
Yes!
We're not jobless.
No!
We came to this country
Mm-hmm.
running away from Uganda,
Yeah!
where there is no human rights. And we came to the UK,
Yes!
where the rule of law is respected,
Yes!
where human rights are respected,
Yes!
where there is freedom to free protest.
Yes!
But in Uganda,
Yeah!
protest against corruption
Mm-hmm.
is sampled as prison sentence.
Yes!
In Uganda, to talk about your human rights,
Mm-hmm.
is an amount to prison.
Yeah!
We are here
Mm-hmm.
to let the people of the UK
Yeah.
know that there is a reason
Yes!
for all the nationwide protests going on.
Yeah!
The nationwide protests that are going on
Mm-hmm.
are as a result
Ogambasi.
of mismanagement and corruption. In the UK,
Yeah!
we have had Tony Blair as the Prime Minister.
Yeah!
We have had David Sankey.
Yeah!
We have had Theresa May.
Yes!
We have had Gordon Brown.
Yes!
We have had
Yeah!
David Cameron.
Yes!
We have had
Mm-hmm.
Theresa May.
Yes!
We have had Boris Johnson.
Yes!
Now we have had Nick Sunak.
Yeah!
And now we have
Starmer. Mm-hmm.
That means that we have had so many changes and there is democracy in the UK. And there is a relationship due to the Commonwealth between Uganda and the UK. This relationship does not benefit the people of the UK, neither does it benefit the people of Uganda.
No!
We call upon you, people, the citizens of the UK and Europe, to hold your governments accountable.
Yes!
How come in the Uganda
Yeah.
we have
Yeah!
one president
Yeah!
and he's been dealing with all these prime ministers, current and the past, and you think there is democracy? UK is known as one of the best democracies in the world.
Yes!
But the same UK is dealing with the worst military dictatorship in Uganda.
Shame on you!
We call upon the citizens of the UK to hold
Well done,
your
Mom.
government accountable.
Yes.
Ask them why there are
Yeah.
so many migrants in the UK.
Yeah!
Once ask them why now all migrants are labeled because of their skin, color of their skin,
Yes!
because of where they come,
Yeah!
because of their religion.
Yes!
Why do you think that's the case? I am proud British citizen and I'm proud law-abiding citizen
Yes!
and I'm proudly here protesting to let you know
Yeah!
the reason why we are here.
Yeah!
That we have a lot of misinformation out there.
Yes!
People are being misled and doing the wrong things and breaking the law. We are here to highlight to the citizens of the UK and Europe that in Uganda we have a dictatorship for 40 years.
Yes.
A military dictatorship of General Museveni. And that dictatorship is funded by the UK, is funded by the USA, is funded by the European Union. And we are here to let the people know your anger for protesting nationwide in the UK as a result of a crime does not mean that you target every single person who is labeled a migrant in the UK.
No.
We are here to highlight the fact that the people are being misinformed.
Yeah.
We are here to let you know that General Museveni of Uganda, a dictator, he is a terrorist.
Yeah.
A terrorist who received military training for his soldiers.
Yeah.
But still terrorists to brutalize Ugandans.
Yeah.
In Uganda, we don't have the right of freedom of expression.
No.
We don't have the right of peaceful protest.
No.
We don't have the right to health facilities.
Yeah.
We don't have the right to protection. We don't have the right to democracy.
No.
We don't have the rule of law.
No.
Until that critical issue is resolved, you can see so many migrants running away from tyranny and coming to the UK. And why do you think that is so? Because there is a system that is being run that takes migrants in the UK, and the UK citizens get hungry because they don't have jobs, because they don't have good facilities, because the foreigners, the migrants, are taking over their spaces. And that is acceptable. The illegal migration that is occurring, some of it is as a result of operations back in those countries, like Rwanda, like Uganda, like Congo, like everywhere else in the world. And the UK government funds and supports these governments. And that operation in those governments leads the people to leave and travel the years journeys to come to the UK. And when they come to the UK, the system here is overpressured. The health facilities become very congested. The schools become very congested. The UK is just an island. It's a small island.
Yeah.
It cannot take that much.
Yes.
But until the issue of democracy in Africa and the relationship between the UK and the Commonwealth is resolved, we are going to continue to have so many migrants coming to the UK. And we are calling upon the citizens, we call upon you to let your families and hold your leaders accountable.
Yeah.
Write your MPs and tell them to stop funding a dictator Museveni of Uganda.
Yeah.
To stop funding terrorism.
Yeah.
Because Museveni is F-33. Museveni is ADF. He claims he fights terrorism for over 30 years in Congo, in Uganda. And because he gets funding for fighting corruption, claiming to fight corruption, he used that money for political power.
Yeah.
He used that money to train a brutal military, to brutalize citizens of Uganda, to brutalize citizens of East Africa. And when the citizens are brutalized, they end up coming to the UK and are seeking for asylum. And when they seek for asylum, the jobs become competitive with the UK. All the systems in the UK become competitive. But if you like your MPs and tell them there is a problem between relationship in Uganda and the relationship between the leader or the dictator of Uganda and the UK government, and tell them that the reason we're having issues with immigration
is because of our relationship with dictatorship. The reason why I tell you this, how come in the UK we have so many prime ministers that have worked with one president? We have had about 7 prime ministers working for General Yoweri Museveni, a dictator, for almost 40 years.
I know.
Does that ring the bell?
No.
Is that the UK we know? Is that democracy and respect for human rights and human rights?
Yeah.
We are here at the Ghana High Commission, at the Ghana Embassy, which is a privacy. This embassy here does not represent the interests of Ugandans.
No, it doesn't.
This embassy here represents the interests of General Museveni, his government, and the UK government officials. The UK people do not benefit between the relationship between Uganda and the UK. So we call upon you to pass the message to your families, to your MPs, and let them know that put pressure on them to stop funding dictatorship. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Why are we here? Just Museveni must go. Fight corruption. Free all political prisoners. Free all political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
What do we want?
We want to fight corruption. We want.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Yes.
What do you want?
Freedom.
What do you want?
Freedom.
What do you want?
Freedom.
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 You want democracy. What do you want?
Democracy.
What do you want?
Democracy.
We want to fight corruption. What do you want?
Fighting corruption.
Fight corruption. What do you want?
To fight corruption.
Fight corruption in Uganda. What do you want?
Fighting corruption.
We want respect for human rights. What do you want?
Fighting
We want free all political prisoners. What do you want?
No political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
Free all political prisoners.
Free Olivia retire.
All political prisoners.
Free Machete.
Free Machete.
Free Don Bosco.
Free Don Bosco.
Free
Achille Chivumbi. Achille Chivumbi.
The story of Achille Chivumbi, the latest victim of abduction. Abduction amounts to being kidnapped, forced, and taken away to ungazetted areas which are not permitted by the law. In Uganda, if you commit a crime, you are arrested, and you should, by law, you should have access to your lawyer within 48 hours. Achille Chivumbi was recently, who is the security guard of our president, Bob Wine. The people's president was arrested, was kidnapped, abducted by 7 terrorist militaries. He was then exposed to all sorts of torture. For more than 48 hours, he was under captivity of 7 terrorists. And when we put too much pressure, he was eventually put on contact charges. As usual, the bottom dictator will say, you have been caught with guns, with arms.
Can you imagine?
If that's not the case, you will say you've been caught with military weapons. And the reason is that is arbitrary and unlawful. And we call upon the UK government to look at the latest victim. We call upon the Uganda High Commission to present to the UK government the issue of abduction in Uganda. We ask you clear our demands. If you don't listen to our demands, Madam Matifani, we shall keep on coming here. Day in, day out, year in, year out, every single time. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Museveni is a terrorist.
Museveni is a terrorist.
Museveni must go.
Museveni is ADF in Congo.
Museveni is ADF in Congo.
Museveni is ADF in Uganda.
Museveni is ADF in Uganda.
Museveni is M23 in Congo.
People power.
Our power. People power. Yeah. Greg. Greg, you have to stop.
Hi. Nice outfit. Nice. Badges. People power.
His operation is what's done appetite. The gun is the master, citizen slave. The ball of Africa is bleeding. Question: what was the purpose of the liberation when we got up a peaceful transition? What is the purpose of the constitution when the government disrespect the constitution? Where is my freedom of expression when you judge me because of my expression? Look what you're doing to this nation. Become this nation. Our leaders become convention. Freedom fighters be agitated. They don't fight the Nigerian instructor. We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom.
We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom. Tadeko life. Mukuvumilira. Sijeko live ya. Sijeko. Bisikala wano. Bisikala wano. This is a disclaimer. I don't have any copyright to the music in the background. So if you are recording and putting this on YouTube, this is a disclaimer. I don't have the copyright to the music in the background. Thank you. Bannayuganda abali kuno mwena mwena muinvitinge bannamwe bajoininge balabe kye tuliko wano. Tuli kulwanirira ggwanga wano, tuli mu UK. Abantu bekalakaasa, abazungu bekalakaasa bakoye ejogo bagamba bakoye fa bagwira okubeera muno mu UK. batukoye okutegeera kati abantu mwena abali eyo nga muli mu UK naye nga temujja wano mutegeere nti abazungu bajja kubasalako anytime mu nyumba zammwe babalageko baba tebaagala kutegeera oba mulina obutabo obumyufu oba temulina bo kyebaliko bakoye by migrants mu UK babikoye kutegeera se gwali eyo ng'olina obusobozi nga toli mulwadde ng'osobola okutambula nojja mwanize ne tuweera ddala Ugandan Embassy ne tubamalako emirembe kuba ebizibu byaffe tebinaba kubeera solved. Museveni akyawamba abantu babadde bakawamba bodyguard wa pulezidenti baagala kuteeka pulezidenti waffe mu matiiga obulamu bwe kuba buli wokwata ku bodyguard we kitegeeza olikwatakinga pulezidenti mwennyininyini okutegeera kati abannayuganda teri muntu ali seefu wala baatakinga bodyguard wa pulezidenti okutegeera kati gwe wena egy'oli tulina okwerwanako wano mu UK waliwo eddembe ly'okwekalakaasa osobola okgenda ne weekalakaasa mu UK wano poliisi esobola kukwatako poliisi wano ogitegeezaako ntugenda kwekalakaasa baasi nekuwa guidelines nebikomaawo si bino byaffe bye tulina ebya colonialism mu Uganda wanange UK beeyagala UK ogenda ne weekalakaasa mu ddembe teryakukwatako kati abannayuganda abali eyo abeefuula nti mwamala temwagala kuva mu mayumba gammwe mujja kubeera mu mayumba gammwe naye abazungu bagenda kubanonako abazungu bali mu kwekalakaasa wano bakoye ejjogo lyabagwira omwana omunyarwanda yatemye abaana yabasazesaze ebyana abaana b'oku ssomero ekintu ekyo nekiviirako obuzibu bwabagwira mu nsi eno kati abazungu bawulidde ku mawulire ne bagamba ne bateekayo eri omusajja bamuyita Andrew Tate yataddeyo omu ku maddugavu eyazza omusango mu Northern Ireland emyaka egiyiseeko nga muteekayo nga poliisi eri kumukwata kati ozaba eza poliisi eziyitawo ezo bano abaano bakola bali professional okutegeera teri ebyo ebya Uganda banaye abapoliisi abanayuganda abali kuno aba bagenda okubeerako kuno banaye abapoliisi mubeereko professional mubeereko proud n'egundi yammwe mubeereko proud n'omulimu gwamwe to keep law and order mulebe kubeera corrupt tumanyi Museveni abateekamu abanyarwanda tukimanyi bulungi naye abanyarwanda mmwe abalemesa enkyukakyuka ey'eddembe mu Uganda banaye mubeereko n'emitima mutegeere nti obeera mu poliisi obeera neutral oba olakwata abantu bamenyi ba misango okutegeera tobeera awo notagetinga bakuba ali tebagira pulezidenti wo gweyagala nedda banaye mulowooza Museveni agenda kubeerawo mpaka myaka emeka okutegeera ate mujjukire nti Uganda y'abannayuganda kati abazungu nabo bagamba Britain is for Britain okutegeera buli omu alina okubeera proud n'ensi ye gwe niwabeera munyarwanda ng'oli munnayuganda ng'okola wazaalibwa mu Uganda oba wasenga mu Uganda olina okugondera amateeka ga Uganda n'okuwa abantu banno ekitiibwa ffe tetwagala kusosola mu mawanga naye tugamba ebibi mu bigaane tokkiriza Museveni kukozesa n'otaba Uganda olw'okuba yaba brainwashing mu mitwe byabwe okutegeera so what I'm saying here in English, Ugandans out there who live in the UK, it is your duty to come and fight for your country. Those ones who come to the UK and don't fight your country, you may claim that you've been assisted by the UK government to come, or the Ugandan government to come to the UK and do your deals, give fellow Ugandans poison, enjoy with money laundering, have all lots of fun on taxpayers' money. But in this country, even if you have papers, it reaches, you are still a foreigner. Even if you have a British passport, you are a British citizen, you're still a foreigner though. You know, you're still a foreigner. So, you need to make your country better. Yeah? You need to make your country better and enjoy your country. But if we call upon you on things that unite us, things that threaten our existence, things like a right to life, things like a right to freedom of expression, things like a right to freedom of association, yeah, things like a right to choice, yeah, a freedom like right to freedom of movement, yeah, all those things. If we call you to come and amplify your voices, it is your duty. It is a patriotic duty. Because if you don't turn up, that means you are not being patriotic. Yeah? That means people are proud of their countries. Look at that flag. She's showing her flag. Yeah? She's showing her flag. Yeah? The people are walking around with the national flags because they are proud of their flags. Yeah? People are proud of their countries. Yeah? People fight for their countries. People fight for freedoms. So you will come here and you get your paper, your documents, and you say, oh, I am Nzeni Muzungu kati nine papula zange kati sifayo. Naye abazungu bajja kumanya kasaba natuuka obusungu abo bakutte omuyana yafumise omwana ekiso okutegeera. Yeah? A refugee from Rwanda. Yeah? God knows what happened to that boy. He committed crime and killed three students. Yeah? And now after that, there were rumors. Andrew Tate, who is known on the social media, he posted a picture of another man being arrested by police. And he labeled it as that was the criminal. And he put on some sentiments, certain words, inciting the people. And the people are protesting. They don't want to know whether you are illegal migrant or you are illegal. They don't want to know that. They are saying they want their country back. For you Darky, with the papers, you think they will look at the skin of your color and you think they will look at you as one of their own? No, it is natural. If they think they are threatening their space, they will come and raise up. So the same thing as us. We need to fight for ours. You know? We must fight for ours. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. But if you stay there, you say, me, I'm fine. I'm not about that. You enjoy all the freedoms. One day, they will come to you. Even those ones in Uganda who are refusing to join the struggle, you think you are connected. You are connected to Museveni and their family. Yeah? You think you are connected to Museveni and the family, you know? But you are not. Don't lie to yourself. Don't think you are that special. You know? You should not count yourself like you are more special than anyone else. Because if you don't die by road traffic accident due to poor roads, as a result of corruption, rampant corruption in the parliament and the government, you will die of being murdered. You will die of being murdered, you know? You know? So we call upon you to get involved. We don't beg you. It is your choice. Yeah? If you don't, one day, a prophet said, Mujja kukiwulira. Yes? Mujja kukiwulira. So you people who are in the government, you're enjoying the money, you're enjoying all the corruptions, you're enjoying all those things. It will reach a time whereby mujja kukiwulira. If you don't do the right thing and involve yourself in a system which is corrupt and you're enjoying, at some point it will come to your doors. Yeah? Especially those people, our brothers and sisters in the military, in the UPDF. So our brothers and sisters in the UPDF, those who align our comrades and put them in a court martial, yeah? She's ours. She's a people power lady. People power. Yeah. What I was saying is, you reach a time whereby you represent injustice to fellow Ugandans in a court martial. You know, civilians being tried in a court martial for wearing something that resembles military attire. Yeah? Yeah? For the case of Okwekalakaasa, yeah? You put trapped up charges on him, and then later you drop some, just like you did to Robert Chagwany Sentamu, the president. And now, Okwekalakaasa, you unlawfully took him, tortured him. You know? You think Museveni is going to be there. The dictatorship will end in Africa. The Africans are waking up. The dictatorship will eventually go. Because people are saying enough is enough. We are in a revolution. Yeah? You see what has been happening in Kenya. In Kenya yesterday they had their march. Yeah? For Ruto must go. Yeah? Ruto was so scared. Very, very scared. He deployed heavily not to give them any chance to go anywhere near parliament. Because he fears the will of the people, he fears the power of the people. The only way to stop them from chasing him away was to use a brutal police. Yeah? But you police people as well, you know that dictatorship are a huge problem for everyone. Dictatorship means insecurity. Yeah? Because now Uganda, the economy is going to go very down because of corruption as a result of dictatorship. Yeah, there is a lot of inflation. Yeah? You are not being paid enough. Yeah? You are underpaid. Yeah? And you're overworked. Yeah? And now imagine Mozi, who has been on taxpayers' money. Yeah? For these years since his father started ruling Uganda. He's now your commander-in-chief. Can you imagine that kind of nonsense standard? Yeah? Why not Besigye, who served in a war with Museveni? Why not Besigye being a general? Yeah? Why? Why not Mugisha Muntu? Huh? Why? You military, you PDF, don't make yourself very stupid and foolish. You need to stand up and raise up and join us. Yeah? Because that flurry of self-entitlement must stop in Uganda. That flurry of succession, that flurry of succession must stop. Because it's an hindrance to development, it's an hindrance to democracy, it's an hindrance to the rule of law. Because Museveni aligns himself and his family to be your bosses, and yet you are his bosses. Without you, he cannot be in that office. He claims that they was elected. Yeah? You are the one who is giving him all that power. So you need to join us, come out and denounce him. Yeah? Let him be isolated. For us, we are doing what we can. Because why should only Museveni be the one entitled and his family to leading Uganda? He's not the first president of Uganda. Yeah? I mean, tried it he wanted to make his son a four-star general, you know. But all that dictatorship ended. And in modern days, the dictatorship will go, and we are not going to use guns. Museveni will go, and we are not, and I promise you, we are not going to use guns to get rid of Museveni. As long as we are united, we shall stop Museveni, because it is a system that we need to fight. Yeah, it's a system that we are going to fight, because in Africa at the moment there is what we call neo-colonialism. Museveni alone cannot be able to sustain and control us if he's not being funded, if he's not being given military support, and he's working for himself and his family, which means Museveni, one, is not Ugandan. Museveni, two, is a hired mercenary in Uganda. You know, that's why the UK can claim to represent democracy, the USA can claim to represent democracy, but they still work hand in hand with him, which is contrary to what they think they say they represent. Because if he does not have shared values, why are they still dealing with him and his government? Huh? Why? Yeah, you ask yourself why. It's because these people are enabling him, because he's working for them. He will do anything to sacrifice fellow Africans, except his family and his friends. Sacrifice Africans in order for him to be a boss and remain a boss, and his family remains a boss. Yeah? He's brutalizing the Congolese for their minerals with no remorse. You know? Just imagine if Museveni's son gets killed, like the way he kills Congolese. Yeah? Cut off the head, cut off the hands, cut off the legs. That's what they are doing in Congo. That's what they are doing in Uganda. Yeah? What we are talking about is something serious. Yeah? Look at this baby. Yeah? Look at that. What if that was Moses' son? Or what if that was Moses? Or Natasha? Or Natasha's daughter? Or relative? What if that was Moses? Yeah? What if that John Bosco Tibalama was Moses? What if Olivia Otaya was Museveni's daughter? Yeah? So you people, our brothers and sisters in a uniform, be professional. Stand with the people. Don't stand with Museveni and his family, because Museveni works for himself and his family, and you know it very well. And he will sacrifice you as well. After doing his atrocities, he will sacrifice you, because he knows you know about him. He knows that you know about his atrocities. You know that you, at some point, you are going to bear testimony against him. He knows that. He's been using some criminals in Kampala to kill and brutalize NUP, People Power supporters. Like Sobi. Sobi was used many times to brutalize, you know. Kayula used this Kitata, yeah, 2010. They were all used, yeah. Now look what happened to Sobi. Like, you know how the Museveni terrorist regime works. They claim that Sobi was attacked, but that was extrajudicial killing. That was an assassination. You know? So, you commit Museveni's crimes, you take part in committing crimes, and then later Museveni will eliminate you because you have evidence, you know about it. So, our brothers and sisters out there who have a lot of information about Museveni, and you are passing it to us, yeah, and you're giving us the security alerts, please keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, but you must get involved in eliminating Museveni. The way he's taught you to commit these heinous crimes against fellow Ugandans or against fellow Africans, It's the same way you should deal with him as well, because Museveni works for these countries like we are here. Just imagine if Uganda was also having good facilities like the UK has. Yeah? Just imagine. The UK has got all the better facilities, just an island. Yeah? Just imagine if that was in Africa. Yeah? Just imagine that. You're getting good facilities in Uganda. You're getting good facilities in the Congo or in Rwanda or in Kenya. But Museveni works, and all African dictators, they work for these countries to make them better and better all the time. And you, who is out there, who is in this country, you might think that, oh, you are living in these countries and all that, you are better off than anyone else who is in Africa. But you are just a foreigner. They will look at you as a foreigner, you know. Whereas Museveni uses our money, yeah, to send his children to very, very good schools, yeah, to make sure that they become the chief of general staff, yeah, to make sure that they become on top of you. Meanwhile, he's already on top for all these years, and he's been able to manipulate and use you on behalf of the foreigners, like the Americans, like the British, like the Europeans. The Europeans are enjoying. They're enjoying a lot. They don't care whether you kill your own people. They don't care. They will turn a blind eye because you are working for them. But what Museveni doesn't know, that his children also have children, and they are going to have children, and he thinks that they are going to make Uganda a family business. You know? That's what Museveni thinks. But I must assure you that if you support and work in the interest of Museveni, eventually will go, and all the dictatorship in Africa is going to eventually go. Because Africa is now under attack due to neo-colonialism. Forget about Museveni talking about neo-colonialism, because he's the one who pretends. You know, Museveni, when he says Z, he means A. You know? He's a manipulative, pathological liar. He lies. Yeah? He steals elections, and he says the opposition stole elections. You know? He commits crimes, and he says ADF commit crimes. He says M23 committing crimes. Him and Kagame. That's how they've been able to manipulate fellow Africans. You know, those ones in Rwanda, they used he brainwashed them that they can make an empire in East Africa. That's why now in Kenya, it's also becoming bad for corruption. It's becoming bad for democracy in Kenya. It's also becoming hostile for the Kenyans because of Ruto. Because Museveni influences Ruto and his leadership. You know? So, you might think that you're working for Museveni, that he always going to promote you. Look, Museveni has done it all. He's promoted his son to CDF. What else do you think is going to add on that? Yeah, what else? He deceived you, Mbadi, and gave you CDF for only a few weeks. Only a few weeks. Yeah? A few weeks. And after that, he sacked you and put his son. So you indigenous Ugandan UPDF soldiers, you need to stand, you need to raise up. You need to raise up. You need to stand up. You need to stop and end all this fury. No wonder you can see Bob Wine's bodyguard being arrested and put trapped up charges on him because of the quality of leadership in the UPDF. You know, the quality of leadership in the UPDF is crap. Yeah. that you have general halls of all generals, the most qualified CDF of all generals. How many battle combats has he been in? Yeah. How many? How many has he been? How many front lines has he been directly involved in? How many? Yeah, that Mohoz is being on the front line. If he's not in the office somewhere claiming to be leading, claiming to be commanding, you know, the only Mohoz thing he knows is to kill, because he's been trained to kill and brutalize others and torture. That's what himself Mohoz knows better. Yeah, that's the only thing he knows. That's why he will capture civilians, send them to court martials, you know, on tap charges. That's the only thing he knows, you know. So Uganda bajeyo. People power.
We are Ugandans. We are standing at the Ugandan High Commission, the sign of the crime or the crime scene. We are standing here. Why we call it the crime scene? Because this is where Ugandans are being tortured. Men and women are being raped.
Responsibility for
We are
everyone.
standing at the Ugandan High Commission. The
It is patriotism.
representative
It is
of
patriotism.
Uganda.
Kamba, where
The
they are patriotic.
representative of torture in Uganda.
Yes.
The representative of murder in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
We took up time from work. We are professionals. We have doctors here, engineers, nurses, cleaners. What kind of life? We decided to come here today, stand at the crime scene. The Uganda High Commission is involved together with the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda in the torturing of Ugandans, the murdering of Ugandans, sodomizing Ugandans, kidnapping Ugandans under this brutal regime of Museveni, a brutal dictator who has been in power for over 40 years. That cannot be democracy. We're talking about democracy in the world. In Uganda, it's a dream. We are waiting for that dream to come true. The UK, they just voted recently for change. In Uganda, we've been waiting for 40 years, and we are still waiting for change in Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to stand with the 45 million suffering Ugandans in removing the brutal dictator of Uganda. A dictator who has been in power for 40 years. A brutal dictator who is $13.5 billion rich. But in Uganda, we don't have no hospitals. In Uganda, we don't have no schools. In Uganda, we don't have no roads. But we have prisons instead of schools. We have military patrol cars in Uganda than ambulances. We have tear gas in Uganda than medication in hospitals. We have military thugs than teachers in Uganda. We want doctors in Uganda. We don't want military thugs who are raping Ugandans, who are sodomizing men and women in Uganda. We are calling on the brutal dictator of Uganda to stop the funding of the brutal militia in Congo. DRC Congo has been invaded by the brutal dictator of Uganda because of its mineral resources. Congo is the richest country in Africa, and the brutal dictator of Uganda, supporting the M23 rebels, they have taken over half of the country. You can't see that on BBC or Sky News. We can see Putin and Ukraine headline news. But for DRC Congo and Uganda, is sidelined, brushed under the carpet, because we know the minerals from DRC Congo, where they come, they are brought over here. The brutal dictator of Uganda is the richest brutal dictator in Africa. But Ugandan cannot afford even a 1 pound. Ugandans cannot afford a meal of 2 pounds. They are starving. Uganda is a greedy country. They've changed it to be a sugar plantation in Uganda, led by the so-called Madman family, and the ambassador here is one of them. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. A country with a failed health service, the brutal dictator and his wife and his family. When they are sick, they come to the UK, go to St. Thomas Hospital and seek medical tourism. While Ugandans in Uganda are dying, they can't afford paracetamol. They can't afford even surgical gloves. The corruption is high that when you go to any so-called working hospital in Uganda, if you happen to get one, they'll ask you to pay first for surgical gloves. They'll ask you to pay first to see the doctor. While the brutal dictator, he comes to the UK and seek medical tourism. St. Thomas is one of their hospitals. Chester and Westminster is one of their hospitals. Their children got hot food because the education system in Uganda is dead. But the Minister of Education is the brutal dictator's wife. That is Uganda. The Minister for Finance is the cousin to the dictator. The Minister for Defense is the dictator's son. Uganda has been hijacked by these warlords. We are calling on the UK government to stop the training of the militias from Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to start the sponsoring, the financing, and the training of the so-called thugs from Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Museveni must go.
Museveni must go.
Museveni must go.
Museveni must go.
Anita Among must resign.
Anita Among must resign.
Bug and the 4 other commissioners must fight justice.
Bug and the other 4 commissioners must face justice.
We need justice in Uganda.
We need justice in Uganda.
Get justice under this brutal dictator Museveni, because he's corrupt and the whole system is corrupt.
Yes.
From the parliament to the president to the civil servant in Uganda, they are all embedded in corruption. The Speaker of Parliament, 3 weeks back, he was sanctioned by the UK government because he wrote $20 million from the Ugandan coffers. But the brutal dictator, what he said, don't charge him. He's a good speaker. That happened only in Uganda. If it was in the UK, you'd be in very much prison.
The Prime Minister would resign.
She was more promoted, given more powers to build more torture chambers where Ugandans are being tortured to death. People power. People power. If it was the UK, the Prime Minister would have resigned. But in Uganda, the dictator has got his cronies around him, and it goes on and on. And we are not going to give in. We are calling on the UK government to stop sending our money to Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to stop sending money to Africa. We know that money is being misused. The brutal dictators own mansions in Kensington. The brutal dictators from Africa, they are taking our tax money. Instead of them developing Africa,
Yes. Nail it. Nail it.
buying mansions all over the world.
Taxpayers' money.
Being sent to Uganda goes in good faith, but the brutal dictator doesn't allow that money to reach the ground in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
That's why we are calling the UK government to stop the funding, the promoting, and the supporting of Museveni, the dictator of Uganda. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Because when you get, like the so-called ambassador, the Madiban family, they have looted our ancestors' land in town of coffee.
Yes.
Sugar plantation.
Yes.
We don't want the Madiban family in Uganda.
Yes.
We don't want the Madiban family in Uganda.
Even
We don't want sugar plantation in Uganda.
yes.
We want medicine. We want hospitals. We want schools. We want roads. We don't want military patrol cars.
Yes.
Which are being bought by the ambassador to the UK.
Yes.
One family.
Yes.
They are embedded in corruption.
Yes.
They've sold this building where we are standing.
Yeah.
Now we rent it as Uganda. They sold it for 700,000.
Yeah.
For you people who don't know, this building you see, it was sold off by the brutal dictator of Uganda.
Yeah.
And he bought it himself.
Yeah, get a mask, get a...
Museveni was at work, but the mic is still on. This building you see, Museveni sold it for 700,000. The whole of this building was sold for 700,000. And Museveni, the brutal dictator, bought it himself through the Madiban family. That is corruption of the highest level.
Corruption.
Look at this building. 700,000 pounds it was sold for in Trafalgar Square here. And you know who bought it? The same brutal dictator through the Madiban family. They bought it back. So this building is being rented by the Uganda government
At high
and
cost.
is owned by the Ugandan dictator. Corruption at the highest level. That's what we call corruption.
Yes.
That's why we are calling on Museveni.
Yes.
It is sanctioned by the International Criminal Court
Yes.
for the abuse of human rights in Uganda,
Yes.
for the raping and sodomizing Ugandans, for kidnapping and murdering Ugandans. People power.
Our power.
Our power. Is this building sold for 700,000? The building cost over 50 million. Museveni bought it for 700.
Yes.
Through his agents, the Madiban family. People power.
Our power.
We are calling on the Speaker of Parliament in Uganda to resign because she was involved in a corruption scandal totaling $30 million. That's why we are standing here. But the first corrupt, worst, brutal dictator is the dictator of Uganda, Museveni. 13.5 billion rich, but in Uganda, Ugandans are suffering. Ugandans don't have schools. Ugandans don't go to church or to university, and instead, their children come to Europe. Their children are educated in Oxford, Cambridge, while Ugandans, those who are lucky, they study underneath the trees. When it rains, that's the end of the day. That is Uganda under the brutal dictator Museveni. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
It's only in Uganda where you find the brutal dictator building prisons instead of hospitals. It's only in Uganda where you see they are building prisons than hospitals. They are building hospitals down. This is why you find We don't have no working hospitals, no schools. But the brutal dictator of Uganda is the richest dictator in Africa. A man with 13.5 billion. That money is enough to develop the whole of Uganda. Ugandans are drinking water with animals. Ugandans, they are drinking water with animals. And this generation, because of corruption, because of the dictator Museveni, because of his thugs in power, because he has overstayed in power. 40 years is more than enough. 40 years of dictatorship in Uganda is beyond. We are calling for change in Uganda. The change has to come when the UK government stops supporting, financing, promoting the brutal dictator of Uganda. People power. Our power.
People power.
We are hoping that the new Labour government will stand on the side of Ugandans, not like the Conservatives. The Conservatives were made up of those so-called lords like Lord Puppet.
Yes.
In charge of corruption in Uganda.
Yes.
Lord Sentamu.
Yes.
Uganda is embedded in corruption in Uganda.
Yes.
Lord Puppet is the representative of corruption.
Yes.
Sentamu, the so-called bishop, is involved in corruption.
Yes.
Time for Mugabe.
Fake deep.
You never wear the white collar until Mugabe is gone because of human rights abuses in Zimbabwe by that time. But when it comes to Uganda, where he comes from,
He's embedded.
He's in bed with the dictator.
Yes.
He has never condemned it.
Yes.
He has never condemned that.
Yes.
We are casting for change.
Yes.
We want change in Uganda.
Yes.
Change is overdue in Uganda.
Yes.
The brutal dictator must go.
Yes.
Museveni must go.
7 must go.
Museveni must go.
7 must go.
Museveni must go.
7 must go.
Museveni 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 must go. Museveni must go.
Museveni must go.
We are here because we want our country back. Don't blame those guys who are demonstrating. They want their country back.
Yes.
We Ugandans also we want our country back.
Yes.
Don't call them racist.
Yes.
They are fighting for their rights.
Yes.
The same for us in Uganda.
Yes.
We are fighting for our rights in Uganda.
Yes.
But we cannot get those rights
Yes.
until the UK government impose more sanctions against the brutal dictator Museveni.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you.
Okubye obotodde. Obotodde bulungi. Continue running, yeah. Continue drawing. Continue with the life. Just life. Yeah.
People power. I can't hear you. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We are here at the Ugandan High Commission. We are Ugandan in the UK professionals. We are here because we want our country, Uganda, back. And we are here to send a clear message to the priest, the Ugandan High Commission in the UK, to raise and convey our message. Because when you go, you are also benefiting from the corruption. But until you represent Ugandans and not represent the dictator Museveni and his failed thieves, we shall keep on coming here and we will continue to make peaceful noises. One, we are here to ask and request you to present our concerns to the UK government. One, stop abductions immediately. Two, free all political prisoners. 4, promote democracy. 3, the respect of the rule of law and human rights. We are here because it is our right. We want our Uganda back. We want our Uganda house back. Uganda house is being rented, has been sold up by the dictator Museveni. And this Uganda house was built by General Idi Amin. General Idi Amin was patriotic to Uganda. He was then blackmailed because he loved Uganda by dictator Museveni. Dictator Museveni, together with his corrupt friends, are exploiting Uganda, and they are exploiting Congo, they are exploiting East Africa, and they are violating our rights. We come and cross dangerous territories to come to the UK because of tyranny in the UK, because of genocide, because of abduction of political opponents, because of forced disappearance, because of rape, torture, arbitrary arrest, because of narco-democracy. We are here to raise our concern to the High Commission, Madam Madivani. We are saying that enough is enough. We want our country back. We join the British people who are demanding for their country back. Same, we are here to join them and to join hands to challenge the government of the UK. Why are they in bed with dictatorship in Uganda? Why are they in bed with dictatorship in Africa? We are here to let the people know, the people of the UK know, that we stand with them in their ongoing protest. They want their country back, the same as us. We want our country back. Why? Because how come in the UK we have so many prime ministers that have been working with the dictator Museveni for all these many years, and yet in the UK is one of the countries who are known for democracy, who are known for respect for human rights, who are known for the respect of the rule of law, and yet they are in bed with dictator Museveni, who is 40 years in power and being installed, and now he has made his son a torturer, a brutal military, General Muhoozi. Yeah? General Muhoozi is Museveni's son. He's made his son the commander of defense forces in Uganda. This commander of defense forces in Uganda is responsible for terrorism in Congo. Is responsible for terrorism in Uganda. Museveni is ADF. Museveni is M23. And he works with the Madivani family to sanitize the dictatorship in Uganda. We are here. We are the people of the UK know that enough is enough. We want our Uganda back. And we shall not stand and watch why Uganda is being sold off. We want our Uganda house back, not to be rented. This Uganda house is taxpayers' money. It's our money. And we want to stop it. We want to stop corruption. People power. Our power. People power. The reason the UK is having so many issues in the migration is because of the hostile environment of dictatorship in different countries. And we are here to let the UK citizens know that you need to challenge your government to get your country back by stopping immigrants from coming to the UK, by stopping funding dictatorship in those countries where the migrants are coming from. We are here and urge you to write your MPs about Uganda, how come Uganda has had one-time president for over 40 years, but our country in the UK has been able to enjoy democracy and change prime ministers. Yeah, we had Tony Blair as the prime minister versus Museveni. We had David Cameron as prime minister versus Museveni. We had Theresa May as prime minister versus Museveni. We had Rick Sunak recently as prime minister versus Museveni. We had Boris Johnson as prime minister of the UK versus Museveni of Uganda. We had Liz Truss as prime minister of the UK versus General Museveni of Uganda. And all these prime ministers have been working hard to ensure they support the brutal military of Uganda, to deny the right to democracy, to deny the right to freedom of expression, to deny democracy, to deny the rule of law. As you can see, the pictures all around. They show a big story about what's happening in Uganda. If you go on Google or on Twitter and just type Bobby Wine, the people's president, it will tell you an insight of what is happening in Uganda. Bobby Wine, the people's president, is an award documentary, BAFTA award documentary, or BAFTA nominated documentary in the UK. And it is an Oscar award documentary all over in the USA. If you go and search Bobby Wine, the people's president, it will tell you why we are here. And we are not stopping until we get what? Until we get justice. We want what we want. What we want? Freedom. We want freedom. What we want? We want peace. What we want? We want to go back to Uganda. What we want? People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Museveni is a terrorist. Museveni is a terrorist. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. You can stop funding Museveni. You can stop funding Museveni. We want our Uganda back. 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 We want to go back to Uganda where there is safety. We want to go back home. We want to go back in Uganda where the schools are good. We want to go back to Uganda where the hospitals are good. We want to go to Uganda where there is freedom of expression. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Museveni must go. You can stop funding them. UK government, stop funding Museveni. We are here also to thank the new government of the UK for considering our concerns recently and sanctioning Anita Monge for corruption. Thank you, the UK government, so far. We also urge you, the new government of Mr. Starmer, for a good decision that they have done to stop all the vulnerable immigrants from being sent to Rwanda where there is dictatorship. We thank the UK government, the new UK government, for taking and listening and taking the right decision. But we also ask the new UK government to stop dealing with this dictatorship in Africa. That will stop the migrants from coming to the UK. And that's the only way this UK government of Starmer is going to succeed on the issue of immigration. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere, Ra, Cha,
Hello. We, the people you see behind me here, is a Ugandan community from all walks of life. We want some doctors, some engineers, the nurses, and the cleaners. But we all Ugandans have the right to come back to Uganda. The reason why we are here is the corruption in Uganda. The money the UK taxpayer gives to Uganda is all robbed by the African dictator Museveni, the dictator of Uganda. We are here in sympathy that don't waste any more of their taxpayers' money to give to Uganda. That money goes to waste. You wasted 40 years of taxpayers' money, £800 million every year goes to furnish the dictator, not puppet, Sentamu. We are asking the UK government stop funding Uganda, the Uganda dictator. I would like to thank my friend, my opposition leader and my true leader of Uganda, advocate, lawyer, solicitor, Bobby White, NUP.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
I thank my president, an advocate, a lawyer, a human rights lawyer, a solicitor. That is Bob Wine. Robert Chagwani Sentamu. He's an advocate, he's a lawyer, he's schooled, he's understanding.
The people's president.
To be the president of Uganda.
Yes.
Advocate Bob Wine Sentamu Chagwani.
Yes.
Thank you. Now I start with this. You've never seen such horrific things. The dictator in Uganda is 13 billion rich. Why?
Excuse me, viewers. Thank you for watching. I hope you are sharing. In about 5 to 6 minutes, I'll be getting off live. Maybe I'll come back later. Due to power, I don't have enough power. So share, and you can copy, or you can download and then share. Because this live may not stay here for a month, it will go. So copy and share.
Who doesn't consider the dictator in Uganda that people get sick? He never built hospitals. For the 40 years, he's never built a hospital. Yet, he's built 4 Chinese state prisons. This is a man, he travels in a motorcade of 80 cars, while Ugandans are very, very poor. This is a dictator who has a battalion around him all the time. And you keep funding all these expenses. The parliament in Uganda...
Those who are sharing, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. That's what we call patriotism.
One of the poorest countries spends over $1 million every day. The UK parliament doesn't spend that much.
Banae Kamala Museko, Teddy Kwoli, Noreen Kwoli, Nasoro Kwoli, Anyomara.
The dictator in Uganda...
Nze Uganda, Gwe Uganda Kwoli. Anyomala.
We have 86.
Mwena abaliko mbalamusiza mwebale kusharinga mu dakiika 10 ngenda kuvaako ku live eno, so basaba busabi mu saving video ate mugidownloading ate mugisansanye etuke kuba ekikwatako.
This is corruption. That's why we are here today. We are here to tell you, stop funding the corruption in Uganda. UK taxpayers' money goes to a wrong place. That money will be used on UK citizens better than sending it to Uganda. Stop going for tourism in Uganda. There's nothing to see. The dictator and the Chinese are killing everything. They're smuggling ivory. We are telling you the dictator is so corrupt. You can't believe this. We have to stop the corruption. Stop giving him the money. Once you cut off the vein, the money vein, we can take him down. We are very responsible people, and we know how to take down a dictator. Steal for him, no money, the rest leave it to us. We've achieved so much in the last 3 years. We've weakened the dictator so much. All that remains is stop giving him funds. In the parliament, because Uganda has no more any industries at all, they have small factories. This is how bad it gets. The parliament has been turned into the biggest industrial area. That's where everybody who wants to make money goes. It's a corruption, the circle of corruption after corruption. Our parliament sits MPs who are the most corrupt people globally. Nobody has done corruption more than the Uganda parliament. They steal money. Now they are going to all regions, and that will set back Uganda $3 million. Do you have to take a parliament abroad? This is Uganda. We need to stop the dictator. There is no ambulances. The same man keeps buying trucks for police.
Yes, those who are on right now. In the next 2 minutes, I'll be going off and try to get the phone charged. Then I might come back a bit later. But thank you for sharing. ASPRC is coming live in the next almost an hour from now, in the next 40-50 minutes. So you're going to get on ASPRC, and then there will be Kemo Ali teacher, the director of studies will be live. So save your data. Mubereko tufune zi security alerts, tufune n'okukunga, twekunge n'okwekunga ngeri kyetujjako Museveni ku speed. Teri kwebaka, wano tebikyali bya politics, wano biri byakujjako Museveni. It's not politics as usual. Ugandans, wake up. Ndowooza mulaba ekiri e Kenya. Tewakyali bya politics. Aba opposition beekobala ne gavumenti ne balemesa ba Gen Z ogenda mu maaso n'okujjako luto. Okitegeera? Kati bonabona beekobaana. Okitegeera? Bonabona luto akolagana ne Museveni. Nabadde bayita bannaabwe balwana nabo bawadde mirimu mu gavumenti okwongera okunyigiriza abanansi. So this time around tetukkiriza bannabyabufuzi kutuzanyirako. Tulina okukozesa amaanyi g'abantu, tuteekeko pulezidenti abantu ge beerondedde, si system gwetaddeko. Gwe mulimu gwaffe, kuba bannabyabufuzi bano ababaddewo emyaka n'emyaka babadde batuzanyira ku bwongo. Kabeefula abamu ba opposition, beefula abamu tubalwanira nnyo nga bampuuga, abamu tubayigiddeko. Okitegeera, naye nga bali mu bubadde bwaffe bwabwe bwa politics, kukuza bibiina byabwe, kufuna ba members bangi mu bibiina byabwe. So this time around people power tukunge, naye nga nze ku mukulembeze wange Kyagulanyi Ssentamu era ngamba buli Uganda tanabafuna NUP card nkukunga ofune NUP tubeere wamu ng'Abannayuganda tununule eggwanga lyaffe. Muwulira embassy eno Amini yagizimba, Amini yagula embassy eno mu myaka gye, naye kati dictator Museveni buli kimu akitunze, atunzeeko ettaka ne okusinziira ku SP Asiime. Abannayuganda n'abatulugunya n'atuuka ku the extent nti n'amafuta nagaaga basimamu amafuta, asima mu Bannayuganda amafuta, n'asiba mu nnyanja amafuta, n'asimamu naba goldi, naba ebyobugagga, okutegeera. Kati Museveni watuuse ne Uganda House eno yagitunda katugipangisa bupangisa, okutegeera. Museveni n'abayindi be, okutegeera. Abazungu bali mukwekalakaasa wano bagamba baagala nsi yaabwe, naye gwe Omunnayuganda ali eyo ololaba nga omanyi nti ogenze mu nsi z'abazungu mb'oli seefu. Abazungu bakambuwadde, okutegeera. Abazungu bali kutta abantu, bayingira mayumba ne bavandalizinga ne bakola riots, era bakyekalakaasa bagamba we don't want migrants, we want our country back, okutegeera. Naffe ne tubagamba join us and put pressure on your government to get rid of dictatorships that are causing migration to come to the UK, okutegeera. So Abannayuganda fena we tuli kitukakatako, fena we tuli kitukakatako okubeera nga tununula ensi yaffe. Okusooka tulyoke tuzeewo ebibiina by'obufuzi nga bikola, naye nga Museveni akyaliko. Mwabaddewo aba FDC mubaddewo emyaka n'emyaka, mwabaddewo aba DP mubaddewo emyaka n'emyaka, naye olaba ebifuddemu. Tulina Mawu akolagana ne Museveni era takwatagana, tayogera na ku ddembe ly'abannansi, era in fact atuchallenginga buchallenges. Ate nga abantu nga bamawu be bantu betwali twatemu obwesiga tugalowooza nti bagenda kununula ggwanga Uganda okugijja ku Nakyemalira, naye kati bakolagana naye. Kyekiri ne Kenya, oli omusajja Leila kati akolagana ne Ruto, Leila Odinga, okutegeera. Abannansi bannabyabufuzi bafuga bufuzi ng'era bw'ogamba okufuga, naye si bukulembera. Abafuzi b'omu Africa balipresentinga families zaabwe na byaluganda na bamukwano. Ensi zaffe Africa bagitunda, okutegeera. Abeeyita ba Pan-Africans ate beekobala ne batunda ensi zaffe nga bakolagana n'abazungu. Batuleta bipuroguramu ebitategerekeka ebitali byaffe, kati ng'ettaka ne batwonoonera ettaka nga batuleetedde fertilizer, naye nga fertilizer oyo olina okubeera ng'odipendinga nnyo ku nsi ezo ezibawata fertilizer ng'oba Russia oba China, nga mulina kudipendinga nazo, nga okweexchanginga nabo mulina kubawa gold wammwe, mulina kubawa amafuta gammwe nga biri ebyedda byali nga batubba nnyo ne batu-exploitinga. Ebyo byebabazeemu ennaku zino. Babalimba nti baagala ku modernizing agriculture, ne babaleetera chemicals, ne baleeta GMO, ne tubeera nga tudipendinga ku byo, naye nga wali twalinga n'embeera zaffe ziri nakyo. Ng'obeera ne natural fertilizers, obeera n'obusa bw'ente, obeera n'obusa bw'embizi, obeera n'obusa bw'embuzi, otema essubi n'oteeka mu ttaka lyo ne ligimuka, n'obeera ne natural fertilizer. Naye kati ennaku zino baagala kwonoona sisitimu zaffe abazungu. Ate n'ekirala balina ekintu kye bayita carbon emission, bakiyita carbon credit emission. Ensi z'Abarabu abalina amafuta ennyo abayonoona environment bagula ekitundu mu nsi zino ezaffe ez'omu Africa, ne bagula bano bayita ba Akon, ne bagula simanyi bano abazanyi ba firimu banyi ababeeyita bagundi, ne bagula ettaka ddene nnyo mu Africa ne bagoba abantu ku ttaka lyabwe, nabo bo bagula ekitundu ekyo kusimbamu biti, naye bakuba ensi zaabwe bamala dde okuzoonoona, okutegeera. So Abannayuganda tulina ekyokulwanira nnyo ky'obeera Munnayuganda ne bakuwa obwa citizenship bwo nga buli temporary, nga tobeera na permanent citizenship bye baagala okukola abazungu akakodyo bayita mu badictator baffe. Kati olaba n'Abanakeya nabo babataddeko mbu baagala n'Abanakeya nabo bali mu kwekalakaasa, baagala nabo national ID yaabwe ebeerenga ya myaka 10 bamale okukola batyo. Olaba baali bavugakira ekintu kya East Africa, baali bavuga ekintu kya East Africa nga baagala fena twegatta Abafirika. We kitali kibi naye ng'ekiri emabega waabyo nti bajja kubeeranga n'abantu baabwe bamikisinge bamingoloyinge babeere nga ababalondanga bulonzi beepalingeko ekitundu ky'abantu nga bebalonda balonda ba dictators bokka abapromotinga gundi z'abazungu. Ogenda okwesanga nga abazungu ba invading Africa kuba bajja kubeera nga balina right ku ttaka, bagenda kujjawo freehold ey'ettaka lyo nga balijjawo nga gavumenti yebivunaanyizibwako. Abazungu baveeri ewaabwe bajje bagule ewaffe ng'ekiri mu South Africa. Abazungu baali bawamba South Africa, abazungu bawamba Zimbabwe, ebiseera ebisinga ebintu ebisinga bye babi-owninga. Okutegera kati baagala okukola ne Uganda. Kyobulaba ne Ssaabasajja Kabaka bamulwanyisa nannyinimu, balwanyisa Ssaabasajja Kabaka naye. Okutegera olaba Mayiga agamba ye Katikkiro wa Ssaabasajja Kabaka naye nga byakola tebikwatagana ne Ssaabasajja byayagala oba byayagamba. Okitegeeza nti Emmengo nabo balabe baggwanga, abantu abali Emmenga mu administration ba Mayiga n'abantu abeeta abataka abamu ebalabe baggwanga Uganda. Okutegeera eggwanga Uganda liri mu buwambe n'akakundi k'abantu abatono. Abannayuganda mu koona zonna eza Uganda tulina okuvaayo twegatte abakyoli n'Abanyarwanda Abafrika abali Pan-African. Tuveeyo fena oba oli Munyarwanda oba oli Mukyoli oba oli Mugisu oba oli Muki, tuveeyo fena tugyeko Museveni ekisookera ddala twedize ensi zaffe. Omunyarwanda bw'oyagala ogenda nobeera mu Rwanda nga teri akusosola, bw'oyagala obeera mu Uganda ng'omusenze nga teri akusosola mu mawanga. Okutegeera omunnayuganda ng'ogenda mu Rwanda n'ogenda n'obeerayo nga teri akusosola. Okutegeera bwe tuneddiza obuyinza ng'abantu sibe batukontrolinga nga ffe bennyini ffe abeesalirawo ani abeera mu kulembeze waffe, tujja kweddiza Uganda yaffe, tujja kweddiza eggwanga lyaffe. Musonyiwemu eriyo ceremony gye tugendako wano. So Bannayuganda mbadde nkyabagamba kino ekintu kye tuliko kiri mu Africa yonna nga tolaba ne Kenya kati naye efuuse dictatorship. Olaba efuuse dictatorship, temwesigulira ku bibiina byabufuzi ennyo. Banze ngamba people power ye egata fena Abannayuganda naye abantu abalina implementation basooke mulindeko.
We are here to stand out, to demonstrate, to send it, leave our country alone. Thank you all the people who attend our demonstration today. People power, our power.
Thank you, members who have been here. You have seen everyone pleasing. We are happy one of our members has pleased the flag. We have another one who has come forward to please the flag.
Yes, this process is all about the blood. The suffering in Ugandans, the blood of Ugandans which is pouring on a daily basis. That's why we are standing here to symbolize this water here symbolizes the blood of Ugandans who are being murdered in Uganda on a daily basis. We are washing the flag. We are making sure that the day Museveni leaves Uganda, we are going to wash them out of our country as we are washing this flag. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP. Thank you.
As you see, members, it's beautiful to have a new country, a new flag. Please stick to the maximum. Now the next thing every one of us here should hold.
So what I was still telling you, what I was still telling you, fellow Ugandans, everywhere you are, it is our duty. Yeah, in fact, all Africans, wherever we are, it is our duty to understand that these people who are called leaders, they are rulers. They are not leaders. They are taking us back to the dark ages where there was tyranny, where they sold off our brothers and sisters to slavery. Okay, that's where they're taking us back. That's where we are going. Okay, and they have grouped or they have regrouped. Tulizimba mu Uganda.
All members here can see united. We can really make a statement. We can be together. And if we are to walk down to Downing Street, united we are. We will make a difference. Calling all Ugandans, starting from all today, wherever you are, find time, use the flag, by yourself.
Engulezi Martha, Martha. Oh, Garuede, Tulibimba mu Uganda. Oh, Busosoze, Ngabugende, Tuliyambale Ngule, Tuliyambale Ngule, Engusada, Graduate, Tuliyambale Ngule, Tulibimba mu Uganda. Gasingawe, Tuliyambale Ngule, Ngabugende, Tuliyambale Ngule. Tuliyambale Ngule, tulibimba mu Uganda. Tuliyambala Ngule, masa masa. Tuliyambale Ngule, tulibimba mu Uganda. Ese subize. Ese subize para Uganda mpya of no kweyondera lamo nziza buyinza abamanyi tugali naera kewangu te tuliyambale Ngule tulibimba Uganda mpya.
Ugandans keep this unity until we have our country together. How are you feeling, members? Tell us how is that unity going?
Tuliyambale Ngule, tuliyambale Ngule, Uganda. Tuliyambale Ngule, tuliyambale Ngule, tuliyambale Ngule, tulibimba mu Uganda mpya. Tuliyambale Ngule, tuliyambale Ngule, tuliyambale Ngule, Uganda. Bala, tuliyambala Engulezi Martha. Baba. Yentalonga liwete tuliyambale tulibimba mu Ugandesha.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, that's the unity we need.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. People power, our power. People power, our power. Vive Africa. Vive Africa.
People power.
Merci beaucoup.
We'll take care of you so you can be peaceful.
Seven must go. Seven must go.
People power.
Achukumi domo mbia kaka kumidao.
But at the same time we are British. And we are very happy to be British. And we need to pass on this message. When you see people demonstrating, they've got a cause and there is a sounding reason. Until we accept that there is a reason and they've got a point, the demonstrations will go on and on and on. Because it's unfair when you go to the hospital and you can't get a place in the hospital because it has been overcrowded. The people who are demonstrating, they want their country back. And the reason why we are standing here, we want Uganda back. We want our Uganda back. Uganda has been hijacked by foreigners in Uganda. They've taken Uganda, that's why we are here. And if in the UK, they don't fight it to be the same thing. We've seen it in America, where the Red Indians, they don't exist no more. So there is a cause, and we need to respect that cause. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We in Uganda, we've been living and we are living under the worst brutal dictator Museveni. A brutal dictator who has been in power for over 40 years. He's being sponsored, promoted, financially supported by the UK. We are calling on the UK to stop sending our taxpayers' money to Uganda.
Yes.
Because that money goes down the drain.
Yes.
The brutal dictator of Uganda is 13.5 billion rich.
Yes.
US dollars, 13.5 US dollars.
Yes.
What should we be sending? 500 million every year to Uganda. While the league of Uganda is 13.5 billion rich. We are talking about mathematics here. For the last 40 years, the UK has been sending £1 billion to Uganda.
Yes, taxpayers' money at West.
In Uganda, we don't
Our
have
power.
hospitals.
Our
We don't have
our
schools.
power.
Children in Uganda
Our
study
power.
underneath the trees. But every year, the UK government is sending £1 billion to Uganda. Is enriching the brutal dictator in Uganda.
Yes.
The brutal dictator in Uganda. He is the president. The Minister of Education is his wife. The Minister of Defense is his nephew. The Minister of Finance is his brother Salim Saleh. When we are talking about corruption, there is no worse country on earth when we talk about corruption than Uganda. It only happens in Uganda,
It's also the
whereby the government, instead of building schools and hospitals, they are building prisons because of dissent. We're talking about the worst brutal dictator in Africa by the name of Museveni from Uganda. 40 years in power is more than enough. 40 years of brutality in Uganda is more than enough. We are talking about a brutal dictator, a ruler who has ruled Uganda by the barrel of a gun. Ugandans cannot afford a £1 paracetamol, but the brutal dictator, he has heavily invested in his military. In Uganda, we don't have working ambulances. Uganda is made of 45 million Ugandans, and we have 10 working ambulances. But the same Uganda, We have more than 30,000 military patrol cars. The brutal dictator has got a convoy of over 120 armored cars, all totally 20 million. So every day, the brutal dictator is moving his convoy. We are counting 20 million every day. This is Museveni of Uganda, a man who has killed the Ugandans, but a man who is scared to die. Why should he be moving with 120 armored cars? This is where your money is being wasted. This is where your tax money, the money you pay taxes, the money you pay taxes, going to Uganda, supporting a lavish life of a brutal dictator in Uganda. Museveni, the Prime Minister of UK, moves in a convoy of four cars, but the brutal dictator of Uganda, he has got 120 armored cars. The cheapest car is 150,000 pounds. One car alone, one armored car, the cheapest one, is 150,000 pounds. He has got 120, including 2 armored toilets. This is a man of yesterday. Museveni, 84-year-old dictator, is still in power. After 40 years in power. We don't have no health service in Uganda. The reason being, when his wife, when his family, they are sick, they fly, they come to the UK, they go to Westminster and Chelsea Hospital, they go to St. Thomas and get the first-class treatment. While Ugandans are dying, Ugandans cannot afford even £1 paracetamol. When their children go to school, they go to Oxford and Cambridge. But Ugandans, children are studying underneath the trees in Uganda. But every year, the UK government sends £1 billion.
People power. People power.
We need accountability. The man is sent in good faith, but the brutal dictator is living a lavish life. He owns mansions in Kensington. He owns mansions in Chelsea. He has houses in the Holland Park. While you and me, who are paying for these taxes, we are suffering, going out to work, morning shift, 12-hour shift, 5 days a week. And the money is being wasted in Uganda.
Yes.
The money should not be sent to Uganda.
Yes.
There is no good causes for £1 billion to be sent to Uganda every
yes.
under this brutal dictator.
Yes.
The brutal dictator is 13.5 billion and keep on insisting he's the richest man in Africa. Why should we be sending our money to him?
Exactly.
Why should we be sending money to Uganda?
Exactly. Taxpayers' money.
Why?
Yes.
We need accountability. We need accountability here.
That's why he makes his son a general. He's now his son. He made him.
Every
yes.
Uganda. But we don't have hospitals. We don't have no roads. Even the traffic lights don't exist in Uganda. Why should we send our money there? Your money and my money is not worth it to be sent to Uganda.
Yes.
He's the richest billionaire. 13.5 billion.
Yes.
The brutal dictator of Uganda.
Yes.
Why should we be sending 1 billion to Uganda? For what purpose? The money is sending good cause, but the money doesn't reach the ground. The people of Uganda, they don't see this money. This money is cycled back to the UK, and the brutal dictator, he has mansions in Kensington. He has most expensive house in Holland Park. This is Museveni of Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
This is real. The brutal dictator, instead of building schools and hospitals, is building prisons to put them the opposition inside. He doesn't want here the word change. We want to thank the people of UK.
Yes.
Who wanted for change. Yes. Ugandans are dreaming of that change. Yes. That might be one day we'll get change in Uganda. because we are tired of this brutal dictator Museveni. A man of yesterday, a man who has got no hope and future for Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to impose the Magnitsky law. Let their assets be seized because we know Museveni. This building used to belong to Uganda. Uganda House was our building, but the brutal dictator sold it for 700,000 and he bought it through the Madivan family. This is how corrupt Uganda is. We are talking about corruption in Uganda. You don't need to go far away to see corruption in Uganda. The Minister of Education is the brutal dictator's wife. The Defense Minister is his son. The Minister for Finance is the cousin to the dictator. People power. We promise you that in the new Uganda, led by our President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, this corruption will not happen. We'll make sure that every penny is counted for. We'll make sure that there is accountability for every penny sent to Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
The simple question I'm asking the UK residents: why should we be sending our money to Uganda? £1 billion every year, and there is no development in the country. There is no development in Uganda. The brutal dictator is the worst corrupt dictator in Africa. Why are your money and my money should be sent to Uganda? We're talking about accountability. We cannot be sending money to Uganda with no accountability. We are calling on the UK government to stop the financing of the brutal dictator. We know the money goes down in the drain. We are not getting benefit of that money. People power. Our power. NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
That is the story about the brutal dictator of Uganda. A man who has expired his brain, but is still the president of Uganda. A man who has been in power for 40 years. But that 40 years, Ugandans have gained nothing apart from torture, rape, sodomizing, kidnapping, and poverty. That's what you get in Uganda at the moment. But the brutal dictator is being given £1 billion every year to make the life of the Ugandans better. But as we stand here,
that's taxpayers' money.
Poor.
Yeah.
The taxpayers' money from the UK is being wasted, it's being poured in the drain. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Madivan family. So, the city of the indigenous Ugandan land, and in return, we are cultivating sugar plantations on our land. We are calling the Madivan to stop their production in Uganda. We are calling on the Madivan family to hand over our land in Enguzi. We are calling on the Madivan family to stand with the Ugandans in gaining back our country. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
We are looking for development in Uganda. Uganda cannot develop under a brutal dictator who has been in power for 40 years. He has got nothing to offer. The brutal dictator is supposed to be the International Criminal Court to answer charges against humanity. This is a man who just killed 250 children in a school. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you.
Chakavi. Hello, people power, our power, appealing to the UK government to sanction the so-called High Commission of Uganda in the UK, Nisha Madivan, for supporting the state abductions, torture, sodomizing political prisoners, taxes and aid funds, embezzled by Despot Museveni and cronies, rape and murder of Ugandans by dictator Museveni. Madivan, you hear our messages. You are the High Commission of Uganda to the UK, and you need to take note. We are outside by our house, the Uganda House, and we task you to present our demands. If you don't do that, we are going to keep on coming here every single time, and your name will be mentioned. Your name is being called, and I repeat, we are appealing to the UK government to sanction the so-called High Commissioner of Uganda in the UK, Dimisha Madivan, for supporting the state abductions, torture, sodomizing political prisoners, taxes and aid funds embezzled by Despot Museveni and cronies, rape and murder of Ugandans by dictator Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi. This must stop. Abduction must stop immediately. Trumped-up charges must stop immediately. We have a recent case of Akilewo Kivumbi, a bodyguard of the people's president, Bobi Wine. Recently, he was abducted when he was approaching his house, and he was tortured. He was taken to an ungazetted area by the military, commanded by General Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi. He was tortured. After pressure from the people, from us, he eventually was taken to his house, and they planted exhibits in his house. They planted military wear in his house, and they claim that he's being caught with military wear, and so many other charges they put on him. 2 days ago, he was arraigned in a military court for those charges. However, it turns out that he was forced to sign the search warrant, and when he was in the military court-martial, he was being charged by one offense of being found with a military general rank, a PIP, which is another trumped-up charge. The same thing they've done to Bobi Wine in Arua. They put trumps on him for possession of arms, of firearms. And later it turned out that it was false. The same thing Museveni does in Congo and Rwanda and Uganda. He creates ADF and M23. And he seeks funds from international monetary fund, claiming to fight terrorism. But that money again is shifted back into the system. And the dictator has been lying to the world that he's fighting corruption. The dictator is planning lots of terrorist attacks on the citizens of Uganda. In Uganda, we have the biggest budget in defense, and that money is being wasted. That money is UK taxpayers' money, and that money is used to brutalize, to terrorize all people in East Africa. The money is causing Rwandese to escape and come to the UK. That money is causing Ugandans to run from Rwanda and come to the UK, because the UK government has been wasting the UK taxpayers' money, which is being used to terrorize Ugandans and prevent democracy in Uganda. People power, our power, NUP. Who is a terrorist? Who is a terrorist? Muhoozi is it? Muhoozi is it? Museveni is it? Museveni is it? Museveni must be arrested and taken to the International Criminal Court. Museveni must go. Muhoozi must be arrested. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Thank you. Badia, all those on live right now, I'm going to close, I'm going to end this live. Thank you for sharing, thank you for your comments, and you can download this video on your computer and upload it on. By the way, I don't have copyright to the music in the background, so if you download and put it on YouTube, just mention it. You don't have copyright to the music in the background, but you can save it and put it on your Facebook Live or on your Facebook page. Thank you very much. I'm ending right now. We're taking our SPRC, the information is current. We're taking our chemical rumbuye. We're taking lives nazo neziliwo ezenkyukakyuka. Bannayuganda ekikulu kyabyo byonna byonna si bibiina by'abafuzi bye bigenda okutununula. Ffe Bannayuganda tulina okuvaayo nga Uganda regardless of your religious opinions, political, naye nga Bannayuganda omuntu wa NRM ng'oyagala nkyukakyuka ng'oyagala kujjako Museveni, join us. Wa people power NUP, people power our power. Owa FDC nga temukolagana Museveni mujje tujjeko Museveni. Mwena mujje tulwanyise corruption, mujje tujjeko Museveni. People power, our power. Our power, people power. Ngenda kumalako live eno sawa zino in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.